Dylan leaned against his $60,000 truck and looked at me with pity.
Ryan, how long are you going to keep living like a loser?
He thought I didn't have money because my clothes were dusty and my truck was a wreck. But right at that moment, as he was mocking me, my phone buzzed in my pocket. A simple notification. Deposit, $2,600. Rent received. My bank balance was already ahead of everything he and his father owned.
But I just kept wiping an oil stain off the hood of my 2011 pickup with an old rag. My truck coughs, its paint is faded, and every time I start it, it feels like it's begging for a break. Dylan laughed again. Man, you're 27. You make $3,800 a month. Why do you live like a failure? I said nothing. I just smiled, because Dylan didn't know the secret empire hidden behind that smile. My story started on a dark, stormy night in Texas.
I was 10 years old. A storm ripped the roof off our house like it was a piece of paper. I remember my dad, terrified, searching through the ruins in the rain for my school books, which were crushed under the beams. That night, I saw my mother crying silently behind the kitchen door because we didn't even have enough money for a temporary roof. Right then, I made a promise to myself. We will never be broke again. Years passed. I started working at a construction site when I was 16. By 22, I found a small fixer-upper that the owner wanted to sell fast. I went to the local bank. Mr. Henderson, the bank manager who had known me since I was a kid, took off his glasses and looked at me in disbelief. Ryan, are you serious? You want to put your entire $12,000 savings into this $32,000 wreck? This house doesn't even have a door, son. I told him, Mr. Henderson, I'll build the door myself. Just give me the loan. That summer, while everyone else was at bars or the beach, I was fighting those damp walls. I replaced the roof myself. I did the plumbing myself. 6 months later, that wreck became my first source of passive income. I never told anyone that since my father passed away, I'd give my mother money every month, telling her it was from working overtime. Last week, she called. Her voice was trembling. Ryan, the fridge died. The repairman says it can't be fixed. I don't know what to do. It's so expensive. I went over and bought her a modern side-by-side fridge. As the workers were bringing it in, my mother grabbed my hands. They were calloused. She said sadly, "Why did you spend so much on a fridge? I'm worried about you. You work all the time and never buy anything for yourself." I hugged her and said, "Mom, I worked overtime. Don't worry, I have it covered." My mom didn't know that fridge cost only 3 days worth of income from one of my houses. What Dylan and everyone else didn't know was that while he was mocking me, my bank app was showing a number he couldn't even dream of. Another notification popped up. Transaction successful. $2,600 rent received. That was 1 month's income without me breaking a single sweat. I now own 4 houses. My net worth after loans is about $390,000. I own those houses, but I'm still just that simple guy in an old pickup. Why? Because I have a secret mission that no one can ever find out. Every month when the rent hits my account, I take a portion and go to an old bookstore in town. I tell the owner, here's a list of textbooks for schools in low-income areas. Charge it to me, but don't tell anyone my name. I buy new books for dozens of kids I don't even know. Why? Because I still remember my dad digging through the rubble for my soaked books. To me, wealth means that no child should ever miss out on school because of money. A month ago, while I was secretly moving crates of books into a school warehouse across town, I met Sarah. Sarah is a teacher at that school, a young woman who, unlike her colleagues, doesn't drive a fancy car or wear designer clothes. That day, Sarah was carefully shelving the books with so much love. She turned to me and said, "Sir, you have no idea what a miracle these books are for these kids. Do I know the person behind this?" I just looked down and said, "I'm just the driver, ma'am." Sarah smiled like she could see right through my soul. She said,
That's strange. A driver whose hands smell of plaster and cement, but whose eyes look like someone who runs an empire. I froze. I thought my secret was out. But as we talked more, I realized Sarah had a secret life of her own. She wasn't teaching just to pay the bills. Through smart investments in the stock market, she had built a quiet fortune.
But instead of shouting it from the rooftops, she secretly spent a portion of her income every month on medical bills for sick children whose families couldn't even afford a checkup. Sarah, like me, found power in being invisible. She told me, "Ryan, when people think you have nothing, that's when you truly have everything, because you're free to do whatever you want without being judged." Now, on Sundays, I don't just go to fix up my houses. Sometimes, Sarah and I sit in the courtyard of that old school. Two ordinary people in ordinary clothes. When people walk by, they don't even turn their heads. They don't know that the two of us are slowly healing the wounds of this city. Me with books and new roofs, and Sarah with medicine for kids who had no hope. We are two uncrowned emperors moving in the shadows, and there's a joy in that no luxury car or mansion could ever give you.